Welcome back. Today we're going to add some nice little electrical components to our shed. So, um, so let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to start by adding a new layer. I'm going to create a new layer, call that electrical. I'm going to make that cyan, and I want a different line type than what I have available here. So I'm going to close this. Format, style. I'm going to load a new line type. I'm going to look for phantom, which here it is. Okay. Now I'm going to edit this and make that phantom. All right. Now I'm going to switch to that layer. So I'm going to make a few blocks here. I'm going to make a light fixture. I'm going to start, I'm going to model it using the circle command. We've used it in the past, but I don't think I've really, where is it? Here we go. C for circle. I don't think I've pointed it out properly, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to say C for circle, enter. Specify center point. I'm going to say, I'm going to track off of this midpoint and this midpoint. So now I'm tracking off of that point. I'm using my object track, and where the two midpoints intersect, I'm going to draw my circle here. Here's the thing though, when you draw a circle, you have to specify a radius. In this case, I typically like to work with diameters instead, so very simple to switch over, just press D, enter, and now you're working off of that diameter. What diameter do you want that circle to be? For the sake of modeling, so electrical components don't always have to be one-to-one scale with what they're representing. So for the sake of modeling, I'm just going to model that to 18 inches. And then I'm going to make another circle 24 inches. And that's going to be my light fixture. So I'm going to turn that into a block. Light fixture. Specify base point on screen. Yep, and I'm going to select that center point. Now we have a nice block as our light fixture. Now I'm going to make my other two components. I am going to make my outlets. I'm going to model those at, I'm going to say, whoops, sorry, I forgot to change that to diameter. Circle, D, enter for diameter. I'm going to make that diameter 12 inches. Again, it doesn't have to be, no, actually, that looks a little big. Let me try that again. Circle, specify center point, D for diameter, enter. I'm going to make that 8 inches in diameter. And I'm going to draw two lines here and I'm just going to mirror that around the center point here. Do I want to erase source object? No. Okay, so I'm going to turn these into a block. I'm going to call that outlet. Specify on screen. I'm going to track off of these two objects, and that's going to be my base point. All right. The other block I want to make is my light switch. So for that, I'm going to introduce another command called the Spline command. And that is, where is it? It is, there it is, SPL for spline. So essentially what a light switch looks like on drawings, it typically just looks like the dollar symbol. So I'm going to start my spline command, form kind of like an S. I'm going to try to scale it as as close as possible to my outlet. Okay, enter, specify it to start tangent. I don't need a start or an end tangent. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm just going to draw a line down the middle. I'm going to make the midpoints match. By the way, what I did there, when you select something, if you press enter once, you start something called the grip move command, and this is essentially the move command. Press enter again, you start the grip rotate command. You could actually rotate what you're gripping. Enter again, you scale it. Enter again, you mirror it. In this case, it's a line, so it's hard to really mirror. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it here. Okay. So I'm gonna start the block command. Actually, this looks a little bit big. Might move that in a little bit. Okay, that looks better. I'll just leave it like this. So I'm gonna select these. B for block. I'm gonna call that outlet. Oh wait, I already made this a block. Sorry. I'm gonna call this. Make the block for this. Call that switch. Specify on screen. Yeah, I want this to be my base point. Okay. So now we just install these switches here. I'm gonna install it. I'm gonna say this is about 4 inches from the door. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe another 2 more inches. So 6 total. You know what? I'm just gonna call that another 2 inches. So an even 8 inches from the door. And now I'm going to install it here as well. Insert, I for insert command, and I'm going to install my switch. Yeah, insertion point, specify on screen. I'm going to move this down by 8 inches as well. I'm going to rotate this. Oops. Sorry. Rotate, RO, enter. This. I already selected my object, press enter again, specify the base point, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees. So here we go. So I got my 2 switches, and now I'm going to install my outlets. Typically, what you want is for, I think every outlet, you need 1 outlet for any wall that is 2 feet or longer, and I think they have to be spaced at maximum 12 feet apart. So let me see. Actually, let me just measure my wall real quick. Measure from here to here. That's 20 feet. So really, this wall would only need 1 outlet. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make 2. So I'm going to say, I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna make it 4 feet from that midpoint using my object tracking. 4 feet or 48 inches, whichever you'd like. And I'm just gonna mirror it on this side. Erasers. Oh, sorry. Here's my mirror line. Erase source object. No. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna copy those 2. I'm gonna mirror them to be up here. So using my mirror command again. I'm going to use this midpoint to mirror them, and I'm going to draw this as my mirror line. Again, it doesn't matter where the second point is as long as it's along that line. Enter, erase source object. No. Okay, now I'm just going to add them throughout my walls as well. The longer wall, I can't remember how long I made it. That one's 22 feet and 8 inches. So yeah, I would say you would probably need another, at least 2 on each wall. So let me go ahead and insert it. I'm gonna insert my outlet here. I'm going to insert it, yeah, I'd say about the same thing, 48 inches or 4 feet from the midpoint. Rotate it, RO, enter. Specify this as the base point, rotate it this way, 90 degrees. Well, also, if you want to specify the actual rotation, I've mentioned this earlier, but if you rotate it in the counterclockwise direction, that is a positive direction. If you want to rotate it to the clockwise direction, that is the negative direction. So this would be negative 90 degrees. Okay? So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to mirror it, MI, use this midpoint, draw the 2 points along the mirror line. Again, doesn't matter where that second point is, as long as it's along that line. Erase source object, no. And finally, I'm just gonna mirror those along this midpoint so they appear on the opposite wall as well. Okay, the final thing we have to do is to link our switches to the light fixture. So this is going to be, I'm gonna sketch this to be a 3-way switch. In other words, you could turn the light on or off from either switch. So if you turn it on from here and you walk out this door, you could actually turn it off from this switch. And the way you do that, whenever you want to link your switch to your light fixture, you do that with the spline command. So I'm going to start the spline command again. Again, that's SPL, enter. And then you just draw a random line that connects your switch to your light fixture. I'm going to say here. Then enter, enter, enter. There we go. And then, since it's a 3-way switch, the 2 switches have to connect to this fixture. So I'm going to start that spline command again, or you could press enter to bring up your previous command. So now I'm just drawing my spline here. Enter, enter, enter. There we go. Okay. So I know I said that that was the final thing, but really what we have to look at, again, we have to look at our line type scale. It is a little small. So what we did last time with the framing scale, I think we set it to 48. So let's go ahead and try to play with that as well. Looks like it's locked. I think it's because everything is a block. So let me see. Yeah, these two are not in the block in blocks. So I could change that line type scale 48. I think 48 works perfectly actually. Now notice when I change this, when I change the line type scale in each block, notice that they might appear as solid lines, and that is because the scale is too big to appear in such a small item. So I'm going to double click this to edit it. I'm going to select everything, make that 48. Yep, again, these essentially become solid lines, which is fine. And then I'm going to save and close this. Save and close. Do you really want to close editing and save changes? Yes, I do. So guess what? Now all of my other blocks get updated. I'm going to do the same thing for every other block. Double click it to edit it. Press OK. Change the line type scale to 48. Okay, and then this one didn't change. I'll double check this one. Let me try the switch first. There we go. Maybe I didn't select it. Yeah. You want to close? Yes. So let me give this one another go. Yes. That's what it is. I hadn't selected it last time. So make sure you select it whenever you edit the line type scale. So again, what I did, I double clicked the block. I specified this block to edit. I selected the lines, and now I'm changing the line type scale. And really, if you wanted to change the block while you're in here, you could do that as well. So yeah, for now, I'm just gonna change the line type scale. Again, the scale becomes so big that the lines are essentially solid, which is fine. Really want to close? Yes, I do. And there you go. Now we have our electrical plan. We have a light fixture with 3-way switches and a few outlets throughout the shack. Before I forget, typically 3-way switches actually have the number 3 on them, so I'm just gonna update that block. Double clicked it, yes. I'm gonna use a new command now called the text command. Where is it? Text box, T. So T, enter or space. I'm gonna make that here. Okay, I'm just gonna add the letter 3. I mean the number 3, and let me see if I could change the text format. I'm gonna make that something a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I'm gonna say Arial, maybe 3.5. Okay, and I'm going to save the changes. So if they updated properly, we should have it on this side as well. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time, where we'll continue to build our shack. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.